how you doing? This is Kevin Zogschwert. We're going to break down how to play bar chords on an acoustic guitar. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel, and thank you so much for your support. Let's get into it. One of the most useful movable bar chords is the one based on the open E chord. The root note of this E shape is on the 6th string. This shape will be used to play major chords up and down the 6th string, and play an open E chord but use the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers instead of this shape here. You want to move it to this position like this. And then you can slide this chord shape up 1 fret at a time and add your 1st finger across the 1st fret, forming a bar. So we'll hold down all 6 strings with that index finger with this shape held, and then you can move forward 1 fret at a time with that shape to get any major bar chord. Let's start it off with this F major bar chord. We'll bar all 6 strings at the 1st fret with our index finger, and then you'll form that alternate E chord shape there at the 2nd and 3rd frets. Let's strum all 6 strings for this. And it's a good idea to test each string independently to see if they're all ringing out. And this particular bar chord is F major because its root is F on the 6th string. That's an F note right there, and you can apply this same shape to any root note along the 6th string. For example, if you wanted to play F sharp major instead of F major, you would simply move to the F sharp note here for your starting root note and then apply that shape there. If I wanted to go to G major, this is now the G note here on the 6th string, and so on. G sharp major, A major, all the way up the neck, right? Once you're familiar with the basic feel and movement of this E-type major bar chord, it's easy to adapt this shape to form minor, 7th, and minor 7th bar chords. So if you subtract the 2nd finger from this major bar chord here, you'll get the minor bar chord. Just lift that there, and now it becomes F minor. If I want to move that over like before, I got F sharp here, F sharp minor, G minor, G sharp minor, A minor, and so on with that 2nd finger lifted. Now if you subtract your 4th finger from the major bar chord, you get the 7th bar chord. Just lift that pinky up and it gives you the dominant 7 bar chord. So anywhere you move that around, you get the idea. If I go to an A there, I get A7, right? C, C7. So on the 6th string, that gives you several moves to make. Now if we go to the minor 7, we simply need the ring finger only, no pinky, no middle finger, and that'll give you F minor 7, A minor 7, G minor 7, etc. Now if you're having difficulty at first in playing the bar chords, it's normal. Here's a couple of tips to help you with that. For starters, try and place your left thumb directly behind the 1st finger where you're barring at, your index finger there, and keep it down around the 3rd string, behind the G string is usually best. And then the other thing is to move your elbow of your left arm close to the body to give you a little bit more leverage on that index finger. Because on a steel string guitar like this, they can be hard to hold, there's no doubt. Now the open A chord can also be converted to a bar chord. You may know that as the 2nd fret on the B string, G string, and D string. This is the normal shape for an A chord. But we're going to play this open A chord using the 3rd finger instead and barring across the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. Now slide this chord shape up 1 fret and then add your 1st finger across the 1st fret up to the 5th string. We'll hold down all 5 strings with that index finger while holding down the 3 strings from strings 2 through 4 with the ring finger at the same time. This can be tricky at first, especially at the 1st fret on a guitar like this. So if you're having trouble, elevating the knuckle of the 3rd finger, you may want to avoid playing the 1st string. So just don't hit the bottom string with your pick. Okay, so now you can move that up and down the 5th string. Your root note is always going to be on the 5th string. So let's say I go to the 5th fret here. That's a D note on the 5th string. So if I play that major bar chord shape right there that we just learned, I'll get a D major bar chord. If I move it up to the 7th fret, that's an E note, and play that shape there, I'll get an E major bar chord, and so on. Okay, you learned the major chord based on the A string. Now let's learn the minor chord rooted on the A string. I'm going to take you back to the 6th string to get this going. We learned the F major bar chord that started on the 1st fret of the 6th string here. This shape, if you move this down one string, move all fingers down, this gives you the minor bar chord shape rooted on the 5th string. Now I like to practice these a little higher, especially as my hand gets tired, maybe around the 5th fret or 7th fret. It's a little easier on the hand. So I'm going to take this at the 7th fret here, and this is the E note, so that's going to give me an E minor bar chord. Okay, so now this is all minor, so if I move this to the 5th fret and get a D note here, that'll give me the D minor bar chord there. And so you get the idea. You can move that around anywhere you want, to the B minor, C minor, anywhere you want. Now this next one I want to show you is the dominant 7 that's rooted on the A string. So let's take this minor shape that we just learned here, and let's move the pinky down a string and lift the middle finger. Okay, so the pinky's now on the 2nd string, and that ring finger is on the D string still, 4th string. So if we strum that at the 5th fret here, I've got this D note again. That gives me D7, also known as dominant 7. So if I move that up to the E note again there, I get E7, F7, F sharp 7 there, and so on. So you can find any chord you need on the A string using this technique. Let's do one more. This one's the minor 7 bar chord, and we're going to go back to this D minor 7 here to demonstrate this. So we've got your standard fingering here. Let's lift the pinky, and that's all it takes. You've got a minor 7 chord now, D minor 7 in this case. Okay, if I move it to 7th fret, E minor 7, C minor 7, and so you can move that around all over the neck. So with all this information, now you can find almost any chord that you need for most popular songs. Playing bar chords on an electric guitar is easier than playing them on an acoustic guitar, and this is because the string gauges are lighter on an electric guitar and the action is generally lower than on an acoustic. So if you're having trouble playing this on the acoustic, go grab an electric guitar and try that a little bit first. It'll be easier on your hands. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel, and thank you so much for your support once again. If you'd like to get my help personally and get a guitar lesson online via Zoom, click the link in the description at kjzmusic.com, or if you live here in Colorado, get a lesson with me personally. I'll see you in the next one.